Hey Hogs, this is day two of our defensive install. For our defensive install, we are installing all of our S blitzes, which is also known as our strong side blitzes. So all of our strong side personnel are the ones that are stunting. They're doing something different than their base technique. Um, and our defense is really nice is because we'll have all of our defensive calls put in after the third day, because the way that we're able to clump our calls together with strong side and weak side is really, really nice. So day two is all of our strong side stunts, and then day three is all of our weak side stunts, which is literally just a mirror of what our strong side stunts look like. Okay. This does introduce a new technique for us, which is a slant technique. And it also involves us lining up in a different shade or a different technique up front, a different position up front. Instead of being a head up 4 technique, our Viper will be in a 5 technique for all of our stunts, our strong side stunts. So I'll start off by saying, remember that our defensive ends, we have a strong defensive end and a weak defensive end. Our strong defensive end is known as a tank. Our weak side defensive end is known as the Viper. I'll show that right here. So our strong side end is known as the tank with the T. Our weak side end is known as the Viper with the V. Okay. We also have a weak side outside backer, a weak side inside backer, and a strong side outside backer and a strong side inside backer. Okay. So we're split up with strong side and inside, and then we have a neutral position, which is our nose. Okay. So all of our strong side blitzes are going to involve our strong side positions, our Raider, our tank, and our Sam, and then our nose will also be involved with our strong side blitzes and stunts. Okay, so the first call is sail. Now, the nice thing about all of our strong side stunts is that we all do the same thing besides in um, spam twist, which I'll go over, and then steal. But it's easy to decipher what you're doing with those calls. Okay, so we'll start off with sail. So for our strong side stunts, our tank is slanting into the B gap. So we're slanting away from the strength. So notice SA, strength away. We slant away from the strength. So the Raider is slanting away from the strength. Their strength would be left, left, left. That's why our tank and Raider or Sam are on the left side. And now we make a sail call. So that means we're going to slant away from the strength. So the Raider's slanting away, the tank is slanting away, and the nose is slanting away. Now, when we slant, I'll get into this when I talk about our slant technique, we are only responsible for one gap, and that is the gap that we're slanting into. And our key is no longer the person head up on us, it is the person to this gap that we're slanting to. So the tank will not be keying the tackle in front of him. He will be keying the guard that he is slanting to. Same thing with the nose. The nose will no longer be keying the center. He will be keying the guard that he is slanting to, and will be adjusting his path based off of what that guy does. Okay. Now the Viper will now just widen out just a little bit, so his inside eye is matched up with the outside eye of the tackle. Now, a little bit different this year than last year. We're going to still keep our same stance. You don't have to change up your stance. We're just going to widen you out a little bit, and you are only going to play the C gap, this outside gap, and not worry about the B gap. So you're only going to play this outside. Now, I call this Viper the fence post. So if you were the lineman not slanting, you are the fence post, because this is what we're trying to do. With all this slanting, we're trying to collapse the inside. We're trying to, it's kind of like an accordion smashing together. We're trying to collapse all of this the left side here, the strong side, and we're trying to make sure this fence post is not moving. This Viper cannot get widened out. We're trying to command this outside so everything inside the Viper collapses in, and there's nowhere to run the ball in here besides the running back bouncing it out to the Viper or the running back bouncing it out to either the Sam backer or to some other defender out here. Okay, so we're trying to collapse the inside when we slant. That's our goal. Okay, so this is sail away. All right, now we'll get to spam. Now for spam, it is the same thing as sail. Okay, there's still SA, slant away. We're trying to go away from the strong side. All right, that's what we're trying to do. We're just adding the Sam linebacker. Same thing, we're all responsible for one gap, B gap, A gap, and the Viper widens out and he's only responsible for the C gap, okay? Those are the gaps that we're responsible for. Now, there is a call called spam twist. Now, if you hear a twist, everything is exactly the same, but the nose and the Sam linebacker are going to switch their A gaps. So when spam twist, the nose is going to go towards the strength and the Sam backer is going to go away from the strength. So twist means the nose and the Sam are switching responsibilities. Now, the backers will give the nose guard a Ricky or Larry call. And the way to think about this, they are telling you where they're going because they're not very smart and they have to tell you where they're going. So that means you go opposite. So if they give you a Ricky call, that means they're going into the right A gap and you go into the left. They give you a Larry call, they're going to go into the left A gap and you're going to go to the right. Now, once again, linebackers are not very smart, so I don't want you to rely on them to tell you where to go. I want you to know where you are going. So if it's regular spam, you go away as a nose guard. But if it's spam twist, you go towards and you're switching with the Sam. Everyone else is the same on spam twist besides the nose. The next one is steal. Okay, in steal, this is now the Sam and the tank switching responsibilities. So the tank, well, actually, it's called the long stick. The tank will go all the way down into the A gap. And we'll work on that. You'll have to step down in a 3 technique to get there. And then the Sam will go B gap. Now, the call, steal, is still the strong side. And there's 2 E's in it, which means the tank has to go 2 gaps. Okay, that's why there's 2 E's. Whenever you see 2 E's or 2 vowels together, that means somebody is going 2 gaps. That means we're long sticking, okay? So for steal, the tank is going to come down and then slant into the A gap. And everyone else besides the Sam, who you're switching responsibilities with, is doing the same thing. Okay, so that's steal. You guys need to make sure you learn that and know that. All right, so those are our 3 calls that we're putting in the strong side. We have sail, everyone's slanting away. We have spam, everyone is slanting away unless we call twist. And then in that case, the nose and the Sam are switching responsibilities. And if we make a steal call, everyone's slanting away, but the tank and the Sam are switching responsibilities. The tank is long sticking 2 gaps with 2 E's into the A gap. Okay. So that is all of our strong stunts. The strong side is slanting away. All right. So those are our defensive installs. I just wanted to explain those. Let's see if I can. One sec here. I switch this to the bottom side. Hide video panel. There we go. Let's see if I can find some of these guys. Here's a sail. We'll go look at a sail blue call here, okay? We'll watch it up front. Okay, for a sail, as you can, so sail, we must have made a left call. So that means the strength is over here. So notice 4 technique, and he's out in a 5 technique. He's a little wide. I'd like him eye to eye. So I'd like him sitting right here. Okay, it's a very tight shade. You don't have to move over very far at all. I want you to stay tight so you can still get hands on your key. This is still your key and you're getting hands on. It's only you're attacking one half of the player and you're sitting in your gap, okay? But you'll see a slant here and a slant here, all right? So we'll go left to right. We'll watch here, this left end. See, so his guy steps out, so he needs to get out there to get in front of him. He should be getting his hands on his tackle. Here we're slanting into our gap, and we're slanting into our gap. We're only responsible for one gap. Sure enough, he doesn't get there, and he's working to get in your gap. You have to stay gap accountable and get into your gap, and no matter what the linemen are doing, okay, the offensive linemen, you make sure you stay in your gap and stay gap accountable. Let's see if I can find some more for us here. Oh, sail blue there. Oops. One sec, guys. I really don't want to show you guys. I don't want to show you guys the sideline view. I really don't, but that might be all we have here. Okay, here we have sail. So that means this is our strong side, left, left. That's our Viper in a 5 technique up there. So you'll notice the tank and the nose are slanting away from the strength. The Raider is slanting into his gap. The Viper's trying to be the fence post here. And we're trying to collapse everything in the middle as we slant into our gap, trying to get upfield, cause havoc here. Now, this nose guard notices that it's passed, so that's why he's getting up in the face of the quarterback. That's okay, but typically we would not run that far upfield. But notice this Viper here, he's the fence post. He's still getting hands on right here and trying to play that outside gap while the tank and the nose are slanting into their gap and getting upfield and trying to get penetration. Okay, that's what our S blitzes are. See if we can find some more here. If you hear noises, that's my daughter waking up from her nap. That's too far away. Hopefully you guys get the idea. I don't want to look at sideline view because I don't think it's as beneficial. But hopefully you get an idea of what we're doing for S blitzes and what that should look like. If you have any questions, you can ask me when we're on the field.